Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And the big shocking news that has just broke out that WWE have released Bray Wyatt after 11 years of being in the company. And this news comes as an absolute shock to me because I felt Bray Wyatt was putting out some of his best work that he has done in the last 4 or 5 years. And to see that he's no longer with WWE, it's just mind-blowing. And, I just can't really believe it. Why would you get rid of someone as unique as Bray Wyatt? Because he's very creative, he always puts 110% into everything he does. Great character, great mic work, very solid in the ring. He's the whole package, and I just still can't understand why we would lose someone as talented as Bray Wyatt. It's just absolutely unbelievable to me. So Bray Wyatt made his debut in the developmental territories back in 2009 under the name Alex Rotundo, and then he later changed his name to Duke Rotundo in Florida Championship Wrestling. And then he would get called up to make his debut in NXT in June 2010, and then he would later on become a member of the Nexus under the name Husky Harris. And then he would get repackaged and make his debut in 2012 as Bray Wyatt with the Wyatt family. And this for me was where he really started to hit his stride. And I thought the Wyatt family were a very unique faction, very creepy, and their promos were very different to what we had seen before. And they would go on to have quite possibly the best faction war since the days of DX versus the Nation, where the Wyatt family and the Shield had one of the best six-man tags at Elimination Chamber in 2014, and still to this day is probably my favourite match of WWE in recent years. Then the Wyatt family would break up and Bray Wyatt would go out on his own for a little while, and he would win the tag team titles with Randy Orton on SmackDown, and he would win the WWE title as well. And also, during that period, he had a very short but excellent program with The Undertaker, and I thought he did an excellent job carrying the entire build-up by himself as we were building up to WrestleMania 31, where Bray Wyatt put on a very good performance against The Undertaker. And then a few years after, Bray Wyatt would get repackaged and then he would come back as The Fiend. And this to me was where Bray Wyatt really hit his peak. And I felt that The Fiend character was very unique, very unusual, very dark, very creepy, and I just loved it. And I loved the Firefly's Funhouse vignettes that he used to put on every single week. Did throw me a little bit off at first because I would think, what the hell is this? What's going on? But then the way he would lure you into a false sense of security was very well done. And he would go on to win the Universal title before dropping it unfairly to Goldberg. And a lot of what happened with Bray Wyatt was not down to him, it was just down to bad creative booking, because I believe with the right creative team behind him and being pushed properly, I think Bray Wyatt had the potential to be very, very special and maybe have some sort of role as a special attraction for pay-per-views. But sadly, that's never happened. And he also faced some of the biggest names in WWE. The Undertaker, as I mentioned, he faced Kane, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, to name a few. Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. He's faced them all. And it is a real shame that Bray Wyatt has been released, because I really truly believe that he was just starting to scratch the surface of what he could really do and what he could offer to WWE. But time will tell what will happen to Bray Wyatt, what his future holds. Maybe AEW might snap him up and use him better. Who knows, really? But I think losing a guy like Bray Wyatt is very bad. I think he still had a lot to offer, and I still think there was a lot more juice left in the Fiend character. I still think he had a long way to go, and I think as I said, if he was pushed better and booked properly, he could have been, I wouldn't say the new Undertaker of our time, because, there's not many guys who can be like the Undertaker, but he could have been something like that, but for today's WWE. But sadly, it is what it is. Bray Wyatt has been released, and I wish him nothing but all the best, and hopefully someone might snap him up and use him better. Maybe, like I said, AEW might use him, or maybe Ring of Honor could do with someone like him, but it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes from here. So that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your thoughts on Bray Wyatt being released from WWE? Are you shocked? Do you think he still had lots more to give to the company? And do you think AEW could snap him up and do something with him? And also, do you think the Fiend character had the potential to be maybe a special attraction like The Undertaker was in the later stages of his career? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, thanks for listening.